This is Yvonne Otero.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's me, Yvonne.
About 2 years ago, she was elected the clerk of Torrance County. Her job is to oversee the county's elections.
You want to keep me in this office. I know what I'm doing. I've been here 16 and a half years.
But at the end of last year, the county commission determined she abandoned her office and appointed a different county clerk. This came after the county manager hired a private investigator to look into allegations documented in this report that range from drug abuse to workplace affairs. And now the state's ethics commission has sued her, claiming she did much more, including deleting ballots.
We're alleging that she committed an abuse of office and that she violated the public trust at the time that she was the clerk.
Target 7 obtained a copy of the investigation, audio recordings from the private investigator's interviews, as well as text messages that Otero sent to her employees. These documents allege Otero got drugs from an employee and threatened her, quote, mutual destruction if she didn't give her the drugs. These are the text messages. She also made references to cocaine use.
I will not lie, I do use cocaine, but I do not use here at the office.
If we were to disqualify every person who has ever used an illegal drug from public office, well, I think we'd have a very hard time filling public offices.
Had, quote, intimate engagements with a FedEx delivery man.
There may have been like hugging and kissing and stuff like that, but like full-fledged sex, no.
Discharged a taser in her office as part of a joke.
She had an employee who was sleeping on the job. My client has a taser for personal safety, and to jolt this person awake, clicked the taser. Of course, did not taser this person, but merely used the noise of that taser to wake this person up. Was this workplace joke in bad taste? Perhaps.
Overpaid her own mother.
There's nothing in the election code that says that I cannot hire a family. I mean, I'm in a small county. I'm related to like 80% of the county anyway.
Pre-signed these reports authorizing machines used to count ballots were good to go before they were inspected so she could go on vacation.
Those ballot tabulator certification forms don't become anything, don't have any legal force until they are also signed by the technician. So there must be two signatures, and my client knew that. So her merely signing those forms does not mean anything.
And deleted emails that contained absentee ballots of overseas military personnel trying to vote.
My client absolutely denies that she did anything to that effect.
Otero is claiming she should still be the county clerk, and she is fighting it all the way to the state Supreme Court.
The fact is, if anybody has any concerns about her conduct in office, well, that's something for the voters of Torrance County to consider.
According to KOAT legal expert John Day, Otero might have a good argument.
The commission itself doesn't necessarily have the ability to remove a county clerk who's elected, but they can start the process, certainly.
Day says ultimately a judge would have to remove her from office, and she could still legally be working as clerk. The county claims that Otero hadn't been in the office for nearly 4 months, and that's why they appointed someone to take her place.
In their view, she's abandoned the job. Now, the reason that's important is that's one of the elements in New Mexico for removing an elected official. I mean, there's a long list of allegations against the clerk, but at the end of the day, what they need to do is follow state law for the removal process.
Otero's attorney, Jacob Candelaria, said his client was asked to work from home because some of the employees had made complaints to the county manager, which prompted the investigation.
My client has never vacated her office. She has never stopped until she was removed.
Meanwhile, the Ethics Commission is suing Otero under the newly adopted Government Conduct Act, which was passed in 2021 to oversee elected officials. In all, she could be fined up to $5,000 if a judge determines she's guilty of the charges.
We're going to seek the full remedies available to us under the statute.
Day said that if she's fined, that would not necessarily remove her from office, and she could still be overseeing elections again in Torrance County.
I already know my job. I'm all about saving the taxpayers' money as much as I can, as much as it will allow. Keeping me in this office will definitely do that. Thank you all. Have a great night.
For Target 7, I'm John Cardinelli.